Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Gwede Mantashe, was to meet the Kingdom of AmaRharhabe to discuss, among other things, the development of the Upstream Petroleum Industry. The minister has already had consultations with the Amaxhosa and Abathembu kingdoms on this particular issue. The meetings form part of the ongoing ministerial engagements with traditional leaders with the aim of providing some clarity and as well as crafting solutions to the challenges that are experienced in the development of this industry. Let's now speak to chairperson of the Amadiba Crisis Committee, Nonhle Mbuthuma. Nonhle, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Now, government, of course, through these meetings, says it seeks to provide clarity and find a solution to the challenges experienced in the development of this particular industry. Your reaction to these meetings?
Thank you so much for inviting me. This is a really strange what minister is doing right now, because we the one as communities that we were having a concern. But right now, what the minister is doing, he's following the regulation, which is Poison and Traditional Leadership Act, that we are challenging in Constitutional Court, and it also gives the kings and chiefs the permission to make deals with these with the companies without a permission of the communities. Right now, we know that that law is very anti-democratic, and that is why we are challenging. And the way he's following that, because we're challenging that law because it's a Bantustan law. It also gives the chiefs to make a deal without communities. Right now, he's doing the same. That is why we're saying that we're the one we're having concern about the oil and gas, and he keeps saying that he's not going to consult everybody, but he's going to consult those people that are directly affected. But the question, who is not directly affected, because it's one ocean. It doesn't matter where you consult, but it's one ocean. All of us, we are affected. And also he keeps saying that he's going to do the survey in the deep sea. But ocean is one ocean. It doesn't matter. You go to the deep sea or you go to the shallow, but all the ocean is going to be affected. That is why we said that to the minister, he must consult the people and fully consent that we need to give, because we are the directly affected.
Now, one of the things I'm listening to you and hearing you say is you don't sound like you're convinced that these particular meetings are going to yield an outcome that community members will be happy with.
Oh, not at all. I'm not convinced at all. And I have a good example of the Australian company. When it came here in Kolobeni, it did also approach our traditional leader, which is a chief. And then at the end of the day, we're just seeing a 4x4. And then we just see our traditional leader becoming a businessman. He's becoming a director. This is also something is going to happen on this discussion with the traditional leader, that they're going to be 10 as businessmen, no longer traditional leaders.
Now, Sister Nonhle, one of the things that we saw last month, the minister said that there's an anti-development movement that is emerging, and he says that this group is very confident. They've become emboldened, and every time as government you explore, for mining or even oil and gas in the ocean, they take you to court. Their aim is to kill investment through the courts. What do you say to such a statement?
On that statement of anti-development, I think the problem of our own government, they don't count that communities exist when it comes to development. They just decide and things are done. Communities exist, and community is their own right to be consulted. That is why they always been found arguing the development in court instead of consulting communities. Now, when he said that we are chasing the business to go to other neighboring countries, I don't think that is a correct statement. We are not chasing any development, but we want development to be started from below, not from the top, as they are doing right now. And also, when it comes to comes to oil and gas, I hope that our own government is going to learn a lesson. Right now, we are being affected by global warming. Now, we cannot, as a country, to continue to promote a fossil fuel. We need an alternative to do things better before it's being too late.
Now, one of the things that is quite clear from what you're saying, because government also, continues to defend Shell's planned seismic survey, but at the same time, you are making quite a valid point, and that is the connection between the traditional leaders and the community themselves. I wonder if there could ever be a time, though, where you think the community and the traditional leaders will sing from the same hymn book and be able to ensure that they reach common ground when it comes to some of this development in their communities?
I doubt if we're going to have such a thing as long as our South African government is still promoting the Bantustan laws, where it gives our traditional leader a power over our communities. Because right now, as I'm saying that, our traditional leaders are going to be used as a tool of taking our land away from us, as they were given a power by the law that has been signed by the parliament that they must make a deal without even getting a permission to our communities. But if our government just respect our constitution that the customary law is there to protect the communities, now they are working against the customary law because the chief or the traditional leader is a traditional leader because of the people. Without the people, there is no traditional leader.
All right, Sis Nonhle, thank you so much for your time. That was chairperson of the Amadiba Crisis Committee, Nonhle Mbuthuma.